Hey guys, what's going on? It is Chris here. We are looking to hit two prize picks today for MLB for the 8th of April. Hope you guys all been having a pretty good week so far. If you guys do like the video, leave a like. I definitely do appreciate it. Shows the support, shows that you guys are appreciating the picks. And like I said, comments are always appreciated as well if you guys enjoy the picks. So, and also, like I said, hit that subscribe button as well. So, yeah, just a couple things real quick. Like I said, NBA season is almost over, but we still got a little bit of time left. If you guys want to come join us for that, we do FanDuel and DraftKings. It's going to be $25 separately for each one for the rest of the season. First two rounds of the playoffs are included. If you guys want to do prize picks, it's going to be $20 per month. And like I said, these picks are coming from our models and also, like I said, a little bit of input from me as well. And like I said, compared to other people in the industry, as you know, $20 is very cheap for the month. And like I said, other people do have proven picks, but like I said, I'm definitely think it's a very cheap price for what I offer. So anyway, like I said, if you want to come join us for DFS, we have it $9 for the day pass or $5 for one lineup. And like I said, sometimes we do post free stuff on our Twitter. Sometimes we post free lineups and also price picks as well. So like I said, check us out on Twitter, Chris Anthony NBA1. That's the best place to get a hold of us. Like I said, give us a follow. We post free stuff. If you want premium, message us as well. Like I said, we'll give you guys a follow back as well. So anyway, just for this video, we're going to focus on MLB hits, runs, and RBIs, maybe a little bit of the fantasy score, but this is kind of where we're going to focus on in this one. So let's kind of get into it. So we're going to kind of go all throughout the day. Some of these I may or may not hit on. In the future, I'm going to have a little bit more tabs to be backing some of this up. But as of now, this is what we got going on. So since baseball's a little bit harder to explain than than NBA is, when it really comes down to it. So first one we're going to be looking at is Yankees and the Tigers. So as of now, it's only 33 degrees over there with 11 mile an hour winds northwest. So it's not the greatest hitting conditions. We know the Yankees can really hit in anything here. They are taking on Tyreek Skubal that has struggled a little bit recently to start the year with a 1.5 WHIP, 5.91 ERA. We know he is a very capable pitcher, and like I said, little bit friendly of a ballpark for him as well in Detroit, and like I said, the weather's on his side. So um, he does struggle against, like I said, righties a little bit. So you can look at Aaron Judge if you want to go that way with hits, runs, and RBIs 1.5. I think he can definitely do that. I don't have a ton of Yankees in this one. I think maybe Austin Wells could get that for sure. But like I said, it's not the greatest hitting condition. On the flip side, you got Carlos Carrasco with a 7.36 ERA with a 1.64 WHIP. Um, like I said, once again, not the greatest hitting conditions, but guys like Riley Green, 1.5, I think he could get it done. Kerry Carpenter, both these guys have been solid recently. Even Torkelson can hit righties, half decent. So, like I said, I don't mind these guys. It's just not the greatest hitting condition for them, but the pitchers aren't the greatest. So, um, maybe go 7.5, 7.5 total. So it's not like a 5.5 or 6.5. So they do expect a couple runs. So like I said, I don't mind that one. I'm moving on here to the Chicago side and Cleveland Guardians. The Guardians are taking on Smith. I don't know a ton about him so far. Looked a little bit in the minors. I think they can get to him for a couple. For me personally, I'm not gonna target this one. But like guys like Jose Ramirez, I think can obviously have a good game here. Um, but I'm not really targeting that game, so I'm slightly moving on. Really not targeting this Pittsburgh St. Louis game. Maybe you can go Sonny Gray over on strikeouts since Pittsburgh's not the greatest. Um, I think he's at what 6.5. So don't mind maybe looking at that one. Where's the other one? Oh yeah, so we got Toronto and Boston as the other one I really wanted to look at here. Um, like I said, I skipped a couple games, but we're gonna go. Like I said, Blue Jays and Red Sox. Toronto's taking on putting Lucas on the mound, and then Boston has Crochet. So Easton Lucas is going to be, like I said, going for Toronto. He had 5 innings, only gave up one hit, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks against Washington last time out. But in the spring training, this guy was horrendous. Had an ERA over 8 in the minors. This guy is horrendous as well. He is a lefty. He's 6'4", 180. So I don't know. I don't mind Boston here, especially the righties here. So guys like Christian Campbell, I think can get it. relatively easily here. Alex Bregman, 1.5. I think he's in a good spot. I actually don't mind Tristan Casas here. He is a lefty, but he's hitting, I think, 571 so far in the beginning of the year against lefties. I think that's what I read. So Tristan Casas, I think, he could easily get that point 0.5 goblin right there. Um, like I said, you can look at Devers, but like I said, Bregman's the main one I'm looking at. Casas, I think, can hit it. Uh, Christian Campbell's been looking pretty dang good recently. I think he might get a walk or two in this one. Maybe they can push him through, but yeah, definitely don't mind a couple Red Sox in that one. You can even look at Jalen Duran, but like I said, I usually don't like lefty on lefty, but Easton Lucas, I think, is going to get lit up in this game. I really do. So, like I said, maybe a couple of those guys I don't mind looking at. Um, in this one. And then we got the Angels, and then we got Tampa Bay. Hendricks taking on Baez, I think, here. So far, like I said, this is a pretty good hitter's ballpark. Hendricks is a more of a ground ball pitcher here, but he did have 8 fly balls last time against St. Louis, so maybe Tampa can get to him a little bit here. So maybe Brandon Lowe, Junior Camarillo, maybe those guys can get you that as well. Maybe more on the fantasy point side, but like I said, I don't mind a couple of those guys. It is at 8.5, so they do expect a little bit of run total here. So I don't mind these overs on a couple of these Tampa Bay guys, as I mentioned. Um, let's see here. Moving on to Texas in Chicago is kind of the next game I want to target in this one. Um, Sorry, got to find it. Go down here a little bit. So this one's interesting because we got Patrick Corbin on the mound for Texas, and he's terrible. And we got Jameson Taillon on the mound with a 6.97 with a 1.55 WHIP on the mound for the Cubbies. The only thing, it's 39 degrees out. It's going to be a little bit cold. Little bit of wind here, so I don't mind targeting. But like I said, it's not going to be the warmest of conditions. It's only a 7.5 here, but both these pitchers really do suck. Um, so I don't mind targeting, but like I said, also with the weather, that's the only thing that stinks. But guys like maybe Happ or Tucker, maybe they be able to get something Seager. So keep an eye on that one. Garcia at 0.5, I don't mind it. I don't know. It's just like I said, Corbin's not great, so I really don't mind a couple Cubbies here. Maybe like I said, maybe Texas struggles a little bit here since it's a little bit colder. We'll see. And then you got Brewers and Rockies in this one. You can definitely pick a couple in this one. Hunter Goodman's been pretty solid to start the year. I picked him up on my fantasy as well. Um, we're going to focus on Orioles and Diamondbacks. Like I said, we're not going through all the games, but just a couple here. We got Morton taking on Kelly. Morton 0-2 with a 9.72, and Kelly 1-1 with a 10 ERA. So, well, these guys have been getting lit up a little bit. Like I said, Charlie Morton had 4 fly balls last time out against Boston, so he's more of a ground ball pitcher. But like I said, don't mind a couple Diamondbacks. Perdomo, like I said, 0.5. I think he could get that here. I'm looking more though at Baltimore. Like I said, Kelly is on the mound, 10 ERA with a 2.11 WHIP. I'm not the biggest fan of him. Last time out, he had 11 fly balls against the Yankees. I know the Yankees are the Yankees, but Baltimore can also hit the ball pretty well. So, guys like Westburg, even Jackson Holiday, I was looking at his stats, and it's not too bad of a spot for him here. So I don't mind maybe looking at him. Um, Gunnar Henderson at 2.5. That's a little high. Tyler O'Neill, though, I really think's in a good spot at over 1.5. So I would definitely take that. Like I said, Holiday with the Goblin is worth a risk as well. Maybe Mountcastle, Ryan O'Hearn. Like I said, a couple of these guys, I don't mind it. One guy I do want to highlight, though, is Cedric Mullins. If he does get the start, I really like him here against Kelly. Lefty taking on a righty. He's hitting righties pretty well. Probably going to hit 6th or 7th in the lineup. Maybe a little higher, but I think he can get it done. I really do think Baltimore's going to score a couple in this one. And like I said, they're 5-6 to start the year, but like I said, it's a 9.5 total, so I'm expecting a little bit of runs to happen in this one. So, and then the last one I kind of wanted to look at real quick was Padres and the Athletics. We have an 8.5. We have Cease taking on Springs here in this one. Jeffrey Spriggs, 4 ERA, 1.44 WHIP. So, like I said, he's one of the better pitchers for the A's in this one. Um, I do want to say March 28th against Seattle in a pitcher's ballpark. He only had 2 fly balls, and I know, like I said, it's a different team. They're not as good. But when they went to a hitter's ballpark back in Sacramento, he had 4 fly balls to only 1 ground ball. So I do, he could struggle in this one. He's one of the better pitchers, but he could struggle. San Diego's not the greatest to start out the year against lefties. But like I said, Fernando Tatis with the Goblin 1.5, I think you could give him a look. Um, even Manny Machado, Luis Arias hits not too bad. So a couple of those guys you can look at. I'm not too into Oakland side as much in this one. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. Let's go look at the fantasy score a little bit. Like I said, I know I didn't have all those stats to back it up, but a couple of things that I was looking at, and hopefully this gives you a little bit of help as well. Like I said, Judge 6.5, I think he could hit it. Like I said, the weather's a little we didn't really mention Miami. Sorry, New York against Miami. Either when I was looking earlier, their stats weren't up. So like Alonso, Lindor, Soto, I really don't mind them. Um, like I said, they're taking on Connor Gillespie. And back, like I said, I know it's spring training, but back in spring training, they lit him up for 6 runs, and he had 8 fly balls. So I really don't mind him here. I know he faced the Mets back on April 2nd, had 6 strikeouts, and had only 2 fly balls, but I really don't mind going back to the Mets in this one here. So let's see what else. Manny at 6.5 fantasy score, I think he can easily hit that. As I mentioned, you got Westberg. They don't have a lot of Baltimore guys, but if they show up at 6.5 or 7, I don't mind hitting the over on those guys. Christian Campbell at 6.5, I think he can easily hit the over. Bregman 7.5. It's gonna be close, but I think he could have a good game here. We saw what he can do against lefties, so that's kind of what we're looking at here in this one, and Jose Ramirez at 7.5. That could be an interesting one to look at as well. So that's kind of what we're at. Like I said, if you guys do like the video, leave a like. I will have, like I said, more tabs next time, like I do for NBA, to kind of back up some stuff. But wanted to get these in early since a couple of these games do start here within the next couple hours. So like I said, if you guys enjoy the video, leave a like. It shows a lot of support. Leave comments. If you guys like the price picks, like I said, we usually focus on DFS. But if you guys want me to put price picks more into the videos, I will do that for MLB and NBA as well. And WNBA once it comes around as well. Sometimes it's, you can predict those. So, like I said, once again, thanks for watching. If you guys want to come join us for premium for FanDuel or Price Picks, FanDuel is $25 for the rest of the season with the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. Price Picks $20 per month. Like I said, we have picks from our models, and also I am also analyzing as well. But like I said, $20 a month is a lot cheaper than others. Why not come? Why not come join us? Pretty dang cheap. Like I said, less than $1 a day to come join us for Price Picks. And try them out. So like I said, Chris Anthony NBA One, follow us on Twitter. That is the main place to get a hold of us. Like I said, once you're there, give us a follow. We will follow you guys back and message us. Hey, would love maybe some couple free Price Picks, or hey, I need advice on this. Whatever it is, like I said, we will definitely help you guys out, and we will have an NBA Price Picks up here in just a little bit. Once again, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. We'll see you guys in the next one.